Daddy by Sylvia Plath. A short summary and analysis. About the poem Daddy. The poem Daddy addresses Sylvia Plath's father, Otto Plath, and her relationship with her deceased father. Daddy is written from the first person point of view, directly addressing the speaker's father as Daddy and you. It consists of 16 stanzas and is written in the present tense, though the speaker switches to past tense when discussing memories. In the poem, Sylvia Plath describes her father as a Nazi, in the sense domineering, dictatorial, and one who supports Hitler. Her father is also a giant statue, a confining shoe, and a vampire. In the poem, Plath recounts her long struggle to be free of her father's destructive presence in her life. I'll read out the poem first, which is in the left side of the slide. Daddy. You do not do anymore. Black shoe in which I have lived like a fool for 30 years. Poor and white, barely daring to breathe or utter. Here in the first stanza, Sylvia Plath addresses her father directly, comparing him to a black shoe. Sylvia Plath feels she has been confined inside the shoe like a fool for 30 years. Plath confirms in the first stanza that she has not even dared to breathe or sneeze inside the shoe. In the sense, she is controlled absolutely. Daddy, I have had to kill you. You died before I had time. Marble heavy, a bag full of gold. Ghostly statue with one grey toe big as a Frisco seal. In this stanza, Plath tells her daddy that she had to kill him, but he died before she could do it. She describes him as being as heavy as marble, god-like, who is larger than a live statue. Frisco seal here refers to Saint Francisco seal. And ahead in the freakish Atlantic, where it pours, being green over blue in the waters of beautiful Nazareth, I used to pray to recover you, I do. The statue image in previous stanza continues as the speaker describes the head of the statue as if it rises from the Atlantic Ocean. The waters of the ocean appear green and blue near the shore in Nazareth, Massachusetts. And Nazareth is the coast in Massachusetts where Plath grew up. Plath says it was at Nazareth she prayed for his return. In the German tongue, in the Polish town, scratched flat by the roller of wars. But the name of the town is common. My Polak friend says there are a dozen or two. So I never could tell where you put your foot, your root. I never could talk to you. The tongue stuck in my jaw. In stanza 4, Plath refers to her father's use of the German language despite his birth in Poland. Sylvia Plath's father, Otto Plath, was born in a Polish town in Germany. He came to the United States as a teenager and became a professor of German and biology at Boston University. He was a strict and domineering father. Plath also describes how Polish town was destroyed by wars. She also notes the name of the Polish town of his birth was common. In stanza 5, Plath continues a dozen or two towns of the same name, so she never really knew where her father was actually born. This has made her feel unable to connect or even speak with him. It struck in a bar voice snare. E. I could hardly speak. I thought every German was you, and the language obscene, an engine, chuffing me off like a Jew to Dachau, Auschwitz, Belzin. I began to talk like a Jew. I think I may well be a Jew. The difficulty of talking with her father continues to be described here. The speaker says her tongue seemed as if it were stuck in a snare or trap, and all she could stammer out was E. E is German for I. She says she thought every German was her father. She also characterizes his father's language as obscene or indecent. In stanza 7, Sylvia Plath compares herself to a Jew during the Holocaust. Holocaust was the World War II genocide or intentionally killing of the European Jews. As we all know, Nazi Germany and its collaborators murdered some 6 million Jews. Sylvia Plath feels her father's German language was an engine carrying her to concentration camps such as Dachau, Auschwitz or Belzec. These are Nazi concentration camps which were initially intended to hold political prisoners. However, later its purpose was enlarged to include imprisonment of Jews, German, Austrian criminals and foreign nationals from countries that Germany occupied or invaded. Nazi Germany operated more than 1,000 concentration camps like this. In stanza 7, Plath describes how being treated like a Jew makes her speak like a Jew and even become like a Jew. The snows of the Tyrol, the clear beer of Vienna are not very pure or true. With my gypsy ancestors and my veal luck and my Tarak Park, I may be a bit of a Jew. In this stanza, the speaker presents images of purity like the snow of Tyrolean Alps and clear beer of Vienna. Tyrol is the western Austrian state known for ski resorts and historic sites. Sylvia Plath also adds, these are not really very pure, just as she has no pure ancestry. She describes herself as having gypsy ancestry and carrying a tarot card deck. Tarot decks are used for telling fortunes by gypsies. She then circles back to identifying herself as a bit of a Jew, recalling the words of the previous stanza. I have always been scared of you, with your Luftwaffe, your gobbledygook, and your neat moustache, and your Orion eye bright blue. Panzerman, oh you. Not God but a swastika, so black no sky could sweep through. Every woman adores a fascist, the boot in the face, the brute heart of a brute like you. The speaker in this stanza continues to characterize her relationship with Daddy as one of fear, saying she has always been afraid of him. Gobbledygook is a nonsense language used by her father. The images Plath has used for her father are predominantly those of a Nazi. Luftwaffe was the most powerful German air force used in World War II. Orion eye refers to a German soldier in a tank or panzer. A panzer was an armored tank. The panzer divisions were crucial in helping Germany successfully invade other countries in World War II. The speaker here describes her father as a swastika. Swastika is a Nazi symbol, meaning the blackness of which was like dark clouds blocking any sight of the sky beyond. Plath also states every woman adores a fascist. Here Plath suggests conflicting emotions of love and fear of her father and perhaps men in general. You stand at the blackboard, Daddy, in the picture I have of you, a cleft in your chin instead of your foot, but no less a devil for that. No, not any less the black man who bit my pretty red heart in two. I was 10 when they buried you. At 20 I tried to die and get back to you. I thought even the bones would do. In stanza 11, Plath describes how in a photograph her father was standing in front of the blackboard. She got it from her mother. He has a cleft chin. She says even though the cleft was in his chin, but it is not in his foot. Plath adds, he was still a devil or a black man. The speaker continues by saying the black man or her father bit her heart into two. She returns to the topic of her father's death when she was a child, and she also remembers how at the age of 20 she tried to die by taking sleeping pills so that she could join him. But they pulled me out of the sack and they struck me together with glue. And then I knew what to do. I made a model of you, a man in black with a Mein Kampf look, and a love of the rack and the screw, and I said, I do. So Daddy, I'm finally through. The black telephone's off at the root, the voices just can't warm through. The speaker says in this stanza, after she unsuccessfully attempted suicide, she was given medical and mental health treatment. Plath says she has replaced her father with a man who has Mein Kampf for Hitler look. But though she has replaced her father with another man, he made her as hurtful as her father. In stanza 14, the speaker continues to describe the man who became the replacement of her father, says he loves torture. She has married him now, but after breakup, though she tries to communicate with him through telephone, she could not reach him. If I have killed one man, I have killed two. The vampire who said he was you and drank my blood for a year. 7 years, if you want to know. Daddy, you can lie back now. In this stanza 15, Plath confirms that if she can murder the memory and influence of her father, she can also kill her father's replacement, the man she married. She also characterizes this man as a vampire who drank her blood for 7 years. She also insists her father to lie back like this instead of actively controlling her life. There's a stake in your fat black heart, and the villagers never liked you. They are dancing and stamping on you. They always knew it was you. Daddy, daddy, you bastard, I am through. In this last stanza, Plath continues the image of her father as a vampire with a stake through its heart. And she is not the only one who has been released from his tyranny. The villagers also rejoice, dancing and stamping on his corpse. The poem ends with an emphatic note, Daddy, you bastard, I am through. What do you understand from the poem? The poem Daddy is about how Plath's father was as evil as Hitler. Daddy is also about Plath's hatred of her husband Ted Hughes. The poem exposes Sylvia Plath's suffering at the hands of men is as bad as the Jews' suffering during the Holocaust. The poem is also about the suffering all women experience at the hands of men. It also deals with a conflicting emotions of a daughter who both loves and hates her father. At last, the poem is about a woman who suffered for her love of a dominant father and her husband, and how she tries to break free. Thank you.